Hello everyone and welcome back to English Lab. My name is Jenny and today we're going to spend some good quality time together to practice English listening and also to talk about how you can learn English properly and learn it quickly. I want you to sit back, relax, and just listen to me as if we are having a friendly conversation. This is not a class where you have to take notes or feel nervous. It is more like sitting with a friend who is guiding you and encouraging you to grow. The most important thing right now is to let your ears become comfortable with the rhythm, sound, and flow of English. Many learners feel worried because they think they must understand every single word, but that is not true. At the beginning, all you need is to catch the main idea, to feel how the language moves, and to keep going without giving up. So, in this video, I will speak slowly, clearly, and in simple sentences so that you can follow along. At the same time, I will give you tips on how you can study English in the best way possible. When we talk about learning English properly, we must remember that there are many different parts of language learning. There is listening, speaking, reading, writing, grammar, vocabulary, and also confidence. If you only focus on one skill, you may improve in that area, but you might still feel weak in others. For example, if you only read books, you might understand written English, but you may not understand spoken English when you hear it in real life. If you only practice grammar rules, you may write correctly, but you may not feel natural when you speak. That is why learning English properly means balancing all of these skills and giving yourself time to grow in each one. Do not worry if one area feels more difficult than the others. That is very normal. Some people are better listeners, some are better readers, some are more confident speakers, and others may prefer writing. But little by little, with the right method, you can become strong in every skill. Now, let us think about listening practice, because listening is the foundation of language learning. Just think about how babies learn to speak. Before they say their first word, they listen to the voices around them for many months. They hear their parents, their family, and the sounds of the world. They listen again and again, and slowly their brain understands the patterns. After a while, they start to copy sounds and say their first words. The same thing happens with English. If you want to speak well, you must listen a lot. But many students make the mistake of listening once and then stopping. Listening once is not enough. You need to listen many times, even to the same material. Repetition helps your brain to become familiar with the sound. Imagine listening to the same short audio every day for 1 week. On the first day, you may only understand a few words. On the second day, you will hear more. By the 7th day, you might understand most of it. That is the power of repetition. So, if you want to learn English quickly, do not be afraid of repeating. Repetition is not boring. Repetition is training your ears to recognize the sound. Another thing that helps is listening to English that is a little easier than your level. Many students choose very difficult audio like fast movies or complicated podcasts, and then they feel discouraged because they cannot understand. But if you choose something easier, you will feel more confident and you will learn faster. It is the same as learning to swim. If you go into very deep water when you are not ready, you will panic and maybe stop swimming. But if you go into water that is just the right depth for you, you will practice, feel safe, and get better. So when you choose listening materials, make sure they are not too hard. You should understand at least 60 to 70%. That way you can still guess the meaning of new words, but you are not lost. Over time, you can increase the level and challenge yourself more. Now, let me tell you something very important about speaking. Many people want to speak English quickly, but they feel shy or afraid of making mistakes. Maybe they worry that other people will laugh at them or think they are not good enough. But I want you to remember this. Making mistakes is a natural part of learning. Nobody speaks perfectly at the beginning. Even native speakers make mistakes when they learn something new. So, do not be afraid of speaking. The best way to become a good speaker is to open your mouth and try. You do not need to wait until your English is perfect. You just need to start speaking. Even if you only know a few words, use them. If you want to say, I go shop, that is fine. Maybe the grammar is not perfect, but people will understand you. Later, when you practice more, you will learn to say, I am going to the shop or I went to the shop yesterday. The more you practice, the more natural you will become. But if you wait for the day when your English is perfect, you may never speak. So be brave and practice speaking from today. One good method for speaking practice is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a sentence and then repeating it immediately, almost like an echo. This helps you to copy the rhythm and pronunciation of native speakers. For example, if you listen to me say, How are you today? You can repeat, How are you today? Try to match my tone, speed, and intonation. Do this many times, and you will sound more natural. You can practice shadowing with short videos, podcasts, or even songs. At first, it may feel difficult, but after some practice, your mouth will move more easily. Remember, your mouth has muscles just like your body. If you train your muscles, they will become stronger and more flexible. That is why practice is so important. Another key to learning English quickly is to use English in your daily life. Do not think of English as just a school subject. Think of it as a tool for living. You can change your phone settings into English. You can write your shopping list in English. You can talk to yourself in English when you are cooking or cleaning. For example, if you are washing dishes, you can say to yourself, I am washing the dishes. The water is warm. The plate is clean. It may sound funny, but it helps you to think in English. The more you use English in daily life, the more natural it will become. Also, reading is very useful for learning vocabulary and grammar. But again, you should read something easy and interesting. If you read a book that is too hard, you will feel tired. But if you read a simple story, even for children, you will enjoy it and learn more. For example, children's books have short sentences, common words, and clear ideas. They are perfect for learners. After you finish, you will feel proud, and that feeling will motivate you to read more. Over time, you can move to higher levels. Now, let us talk about writing. Many learners avoid writing because they think it is boring or too hard. But writing is a good way to organize your thoughts and to practice grammar and vocabulary. You do not need to write long essays. You can start with a diary. Every night, write a few sentences about your day. For example, today I went to work. I was tired, but I had a nice lunch. I talked with my friend. I came home and watched TV. It may be simple, but it is real. And you can check later how your writing improves. If you do not know how to spell a word, you can check a dictionary or online tools. Slowly, your writing will become stronger. Most importantly, you need to stay positive and patient. Many learners feel frustrated because they want to learn English in 1 month. But language is not magic. It is like growing a tree. You cannot plant a seed today and eat fruit tomorrow. You must water it, give it sunlight, and wait. Every day, your English will grow a little. Sometimes you will not see progress, but it is happening inside your brain. One day, suddenly, you will realize you understand a movie without subtitles, or you will have a smooth conversation with a stranger. That moment will make you very happy. So please do not give up. Be patient, keep going, and trust the process. Many students ask me, Jenny, what is the fastest way to learn English? And my answer is always, the fastest way is also the slow way. What do I mean? I mean you must study a little bit every day. Not once a week, not once a month. A little every day. If you spend 15 to 30 minutes every day listening, speaking, reading, or writing, you will improve faster than someone who studies only one time for 5 hours. It is like exercise. If you go to the gym one day and work very hard, but then you do nothing for 1 month, your body will not become strong. But if you do a little exercise every day, your body will become stronger and healthier. Language is the same. Consistency is more important than intensity. Okay, my friend, I think this is a good place to pause for now. In the next part, I will continue to share more tips, stories, and practice for your English listening. Remember, you're doing great just by being here and listening with me. I am proud of you for taking time to learn, and I want you to keep going. You are not alone in this journey. I am here with you, and together we will keep growing your English step by step. The fact that you're still here listening shows that you are serious about learning English and you are ready to keep practicing. That is the most important part of learning any language, not giving up. Today, we're going to continue practicing listening and also talk more about how you can make your English study more effective, more enjoyable, and more natural. Remember, learning English is not only about books and rules, it is about building habits, creating a positive attitude, and allowing yourself to grow step by step. So, let us keep moving forward together. One thing I want to talk about today is confidence. Many learners feel that their biggest problem is not grammar or vocabulary, but confidence. They know some English, they understand simple sentences, but when it is time to speak, they freeze. Their mouth stays closed because they are afraid of mistakes, or they feel that their accent is too strong. I want to remind you that confidence does not mean speaking perfectly. Confidence means speaking anyway, even if you are not perfect. Think about children again. A small child who is learning to talk does not worry if their pronunciation is clear or if their grammar is correct. They just speak, they laugh, they try, and everybody encourages them. You can do the same. Do not wait until your English is perfect, because perfection will never come. Instead, be proud of every word you say, because every word is a step forward. Now, how can you build this confidence? One way is to start with small conversations. Do not try to speak for 1 hour in English if you're not ready. Instead, try short moments. For example, when you see your English teacher or a friend, say just one sentence like, "Good morning, how are you?" When you go to a shop, try to say, "Thank you very much." These small sentences may feel simple, but they are powerful because they train your mouth and brain to use English in real life. Over time, you will be able to make longer conversations. Another way to build confidence is to practice speaking alone. I know it sounds funny, but speaking to yourself is a very useful method. Stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself, and talk in English about anything. What you are wearing, what you ate today, what you will do tomorrow. You can say, "I am wearing a blue shirt. I had rice for lunch. Tomorrow, I will go to the market." It may feel strange at first, but it will help you to become comfortable with speaking. Listening to yourself is also important. You can record your voice on your phone and listen later. You can compare your recording with a native speaker's recording and try to improve step by step. Remember, small improvements every day become big progress after some months. Another important part of learning English quickly is learning vocabulary in a natural way. Many students try to memorize long lists of words, but that method is not very effective because you forget them easily. The better way is to learn words in context. That means learning words inside sentences or stories. For example, instead of just learning the word apple, you learn it in a sentence. I eat an apple every morning. This way, you know not only the word, but also how to use it. You can also connect the word with an image or a feeling. If you imagine holding a red apple, smelling it, and tasting it, the memory will be stronger. Try to connect every new word to something in your life. If you learn the word bus, think about the bus you take every day. If you learn the word rain, think about the sound of rain in your city. These connections will help the words stay in your memory for a long time. Also, do not try to learn too many new words at once. It is better to learn 5 words and use them many times than to memorize 50 words and forget them tomorrow. For example, if you learn the words book, table, chair, pen, and bag, try to make many sentences with them. The book is on the table. The pen is in the bag. I put the chair near the table. Repeat these sentences many times, and you will never forget the words. Later, you can add more words. Another technique is to use English subtitles when you watch movies or shows. At the beginning, use subtitles in your language if you need them, but slowly switch to English subtitles. Reading English while listening helps you connect sound with spelling. If you do not understand everything, that is okay. Just try to catch the main idea. Do not pause every time to check a dictionary because that will break the flow and make you tired. Instead, watch normally, enjoy the story, and notice the English. If there are some words you hear many times but you do not know them, then check their meaning. That way, you are learning naturally, just like you learned your first language. Now, let us talk about grammar. Many learners worry too much about grammar. They think they must know every rule before they can speak. But grammar should not stop you from practicing. In fact, grammar becomes easier when you see it in real use. For example, you may study the present simple tense and you read, I go, you go, he goes. But it becomes clear when you use it in a real sentence. I go to work every day. He goes to school at 8 o'clock. When you hear and read these sentences many times, the grammar becomes natural. So, my advice is, do not study grammar like a math problem. Instead, learn grammar through stories, conversations, and practice. Over time, your brain will notice the patterns and use them automatically. Something else I want to share is about making English fun. If studying feels boring, you will not continue for long. But if you make it fun, you will study more and improve faster. You can play games in English, sing songs, watch funny videos, or read interesting stories. You can also make friends online and chat with them. Remember, English is not only a subject, it is a way to connect with the world. If you find something you enjoy, English will become your friend, not your enemy. Let us also talk about setting goals. Sometimes learners say, I want to be fluent in English. That is a good dream, but it is very big and can feel impossible. Instead, set small goals. For example, say, this week I will learn 10 new words. Or, today I will listen to 5 minutes of English. When you achieve these small goals, you will feel happy and motivated to continue. Later, the small goals will lead to big success. And one more thing, please do not compare yourself with other learners. Everyone learns at a different speed. Maybe your friend learns faster, or maybe you learn faster. That is okay. Each person has their own journey. The only person you should compare with is yourself from yesterday. If today you know one more word than yesterday, you are winning. So, my dear friend, remember this. Learning English properly means listening a lot, speaking without fear, reading interesting materials, writing simple sentences, learning vocabulary and context, practicing grammar naturally, making English fun, and being patient with yourself. If you do all of these things step by step, you will see big progress. All right, let us take a short pause here. In the next part, we will continue, and I will guide you through more listening practice, more encouragement, and more tips to help you learn English quickly and properly. You are doing an amazing job by staying with me, and I am very proud of you. Keep going, keep listening, and keep believing in yourself. You are making your English stronger, and you're building a habit that will really help you in the long run. Remember, habits are the secret to success. You do not need to study 10 hours in one day, but if you listen and practice a little every day, your brain will keep growing and your English will become better step by step. Today we will keep practicing listening, and I will also give you more ideas about how you can learn English properly and make the process enjoyable and natural. Now let us start by talking about motivation. Many learners feel very excited at the beginning of their English journey. They buy books, they watch videos, they listen to songs, and they feel very happy. But after some weeks or months, they lose motivation. Maybe they feel that English is too hard, or they feel that they are not improving fast enough, or they just get busy with life and stop studying. This is very common and it happens to almost everyone at some point. So the question is, how can you keep your motivation strong? One way is to remember your reason for learning English. Why do you want to learn? Maybe you want a better job, maybe you want to travel, maybe you want to study abroad, or maybe you simply love the language. Whatever your reason is, write it down on a piece of paper and put it somewhere you can see every day. When you feel tired or bored, look at that paper and remind yourself of your dream. That dream will give you energy. Another way to stay motivated is to celebrate small victories. For example, if you watch a short video and you understand it better than last month, celebrate that. If you write a diary entry in English, celebrate that. If you speak one new sentence, celebrate that. These small moments show your progress, and progress is the best motivator. I also want to talk about environment. Your environment can help you or hurt you in learning. If you are surrounded by English, you will improve faster. If you never hear English, it will be more difficult. Of course, not everyone can live in an English-speaking country, but you can still create an English environment around you. You can listen to English songs when you are cooking or cleaning. You can put English labels on things in your house, like writing door, window, chair, or mirror. You can follow English pages on social media so that every day you see a little English when you open your phone. Even small changes can make a big difference. Let us also think about practice with other people. Sometimes it feels scary to speak with others, but it is very useful. If you can find a language partner, that is wonderful. You can talk in English even for a few minutes and you will both learn. If you do not have a partner, you can join an online group or a language exchange community. There are many people around the world who also want to practice, and they will be happy to talk with you. Remember, practice does not need to be long or perfect. Even a 5-minute conversation is very helpful. Now, let me tell you a little story. I once taught a student who wanted to speak English very quickly. She studied many books. She memorized lists, but she was still afraid to speak. One day, I told her to practice only one sentence every day with her classmates. She chose simple sentences like, "How are you today?" or "I like your bag." After 1 month, she was much more confident because every day she had spoken at least one sentence. That is the power of small steps. If you try to climb a big mountain in one jump, it feels impossible. But if you take small steps every day, you will reach the top without even noticing how far you have come. Another thing I want you to remember is balance. You should not only listen or only read or only study grammar. You need balance. For example, one day you can listen for 15 minutes, another day you can write a short diary, another day you can read a story, and another day you can practice speaking. If you keep changing activities, you will not feel bored and you will improve in all areas. Think of it like eating food. You cannot only eat bread every day, you also need fruits, vegetables, and protein to stay healthy. In the same way, your English diet should include listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary, and grammar. Let us talk about mistakes again, because this is something that stops many learners. People are so afraid of mistakes that they do not even try. But mistakes are your teacher. Every mistake shows you what you need to practice. If you say something wrong and someone corrects you, that is not shameful, that is helpful. Imagine if you play a sport like football. If you kick the ball the wrong way, you learn how to kick it better next time. You do not stop playing just because you made one mistake. So please, do not stop speaking English just because you make mistakes. Instead, see every mistake as a step forward. Now, let me give you some listening practice. I will say a few sentences slowly, and you can listen carefully. You do not need to repeat now, just listen. Here we go. I wake up at 7 o'clock every morning. I drink a cup of tea. I go to work by bus. I like my job because I meet many people. In the evening, I eat dinner with my family. After dinner, I watch TV, and then I go to sleep. Did you understand most of that? If not, do not worry because we will do it again. Listen carefully. I wake up at 7 o'clock every morning. I drink a cup of tea. I go to work by bus. I like my job because I meet many people. In the evening, I eat dinner with my family. After dinner, I watch TV, and then I go to sleep. Good. This is how you can train your ears. Listening to short and simple sentences many times will help you recognize patterns, and soon you will understand faster. I also want to tell you about thinking in English. Many learners always translate from their language to English and from English to their language. That takes time and makes speaking slow. If you want to learn quickly, you need to start thinking directly in English. At first, it will be simple thoughts like, I am hungry, I am tired, or it is raining. Later, you can make longer thoughts. You can practice by asking yourself questions in English and answering in English. For example, ask, what will I eat for lunch? And answer, I will eat rice. This way, your brain becomes used to English. Another useful idea is to make English part of your hobbies. If you like cooking, read recipes in English. If you like music, listen to English songs and try to understand the lyrics. If you like sports, read sports news in English. That way, you are not only studying but also enjoying. When you connect English with something you love, you will study more and it will feel easier. Finally, let us talk about patience once again. I know I already said this, but it is very important. Sometimes you will feel that your English is not improving. You will study, 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 and still feel the same. But language learning is like growing hair or nails. You do not see it every day, but it is growing. One day you suddenly realize that your hair is longer. In the same way, one day you will suddenly realize that your English is stronger. Trust the process, keep practicing, and do not give up. All right, my friend, I think this is a good place to stop this part. You are doing so well by listening and staying with me. Remember, every time you listen, your brain is working, even if you do not notice it. Be proud of yourself, because you are really making progress. In the next part, we will continue our practice and I will share even more tips and encouragement to help you learn English properly and quickly. So stay with me, keep listening, and keep learning. You are training your ears, you are training your brain, and you are moving one step closer to your English dream. I want you to know that I believe in you, and I know you can do this. Today, we will continue our journey together and talk about more ways to learn English properly, practice some listening, and think about how we can make English a natural part of your everyday life.
First, let us talk about time.
Many learners tell me, Jenney, I am so busy. I have work, I have school, I have family, I do not have time to study English. And I always say, you do not need hours and hours every day. Even 10 or 15 minutes can make a big difference if you use them well. The key is not the amount of time, but the consistency. If you give English 10 minutes every day for 1 month, you will see progress. But if you give English 2 hours one time and then do nothing for 3 weeks, you will not see progress. So try to find small moments in your day when you can listen or read or practice. For example, when you are waiting for a bus, you can listen to a short English podcast. When you are cooking, you can listen to English music. When you are walking, you can repeat sentences in your head. These small moments will add up. Now, let me remind you of something very important. Do not pressure yourself too much. Sometimes learners feel guilty if they miss one day of study. They say, "Oh no, I forgot to practice yesterday. Now I am a failure." But that is not true. Missing one day is okay. The most important thing is to start again the next day. Think of it like brushing your teeth. If you miss one night, your teeth will not fall out. But if you stop brushing for a long time, then you will have a problem. In the same way, if you miss one day of English, it is fine. Just come back the next day and continue. Let us do some more listening practice together. I will tell you a small story, and you just need to listen carefully. Ready? Here we go. Yesterday, I went to the park. The sun was shining and the sky was blue. Many children were playing football. I sat on a bench and read a book. After 1 hour, I walked to the cafe near the park. I drank a cup of coffee and ate a piece of cake. Then I went home and watched a movie. That was the story. Now I will read it again slowly. Yesterday I went to the park. The sun was shining and the sky was blue. Many children were playing football. I sat on a bench and read a book. After 1 hour, I walked to the cafe near the park. I drank a cup of coffee and ate a piece of cake. Then I went home and watched a movie. Did you understand most of it? If not, do not worry. Listening many times will help. This kind of short story practice is very good for your listening skills. You can use it at home too. You can find a short story online or in a book, and you can read it aloud to yourself or listen to it if it is available in audio. You can repeat it many times until it becomes familiar. The more you repeat, the easier it becomes. Now, let us talk about focus. When you are practicing English, it is better to give it your full attention. If you try to study while also checking your phone, watching TV, or talking to someone, you will not learn much. Try to find a quiet place, even for just 10 minutes, where you can focus only on English. Quality is more important than quantity. 10 minutes of focused practice is better than 1 hour of distracted practice. I also want to talk about listening to different voices. Sometimes learners get used to one teacher's voice, and then they feel lost when they hear someone else. That is why it is important to listen to many different people speaking English. You can listen to male voices, female voices, young people, older people, different accents like American, British, Australian, or Indian. At first, it may feel confusing, but it will train your ears to understand English in many situations. In real life, people do not all speak the same way. So, give yourself a chance to hear the variety. Another thing that will help you learn quickly is using repetition not only in listening, but also in speaking. Choose one sentence and say it many times until it feels natural. For example, "What time is it?" You can say it 10 times in a row. Then try to use it in different ways. "What time is the meeting?" "What time is lunch?" "What time is your class?" This way, you practice both the sentence and different words inside it. Let us also talk about writing messages. In today's world, most communication happens through messages on our phones or computers. So, writing short messages in English is very practical. You can practice by writing simple text to your friends, or even writing notes to yourself. For example, you can write, "See you at 6," or "I am busy now, call me later." These small sentences are real English that you will use in daily life. Now, I want to tell you about pronunciation. Pronunciation can feel difficult, especially if the sounds in English are different from your language. But do not worry, you do not need to sound exactly like a native speaker. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is to be understood. If people can understand you, that is success. To practice pronunciation, you can listen to short sentences and repeat them slowly, paying attention to the sounds. You can also watch videos and notice how the mouth moves. Try to copy the movement. Over time, your pronunciation will improve. Another helpful tip is to record short videos of yourself speaking English. I know it sounds scary, but it really helps. You can record yourself reading a story or just talking about your day. Then watch the video and notice how you sound. You will see progress after some weeks. It will also make you feel more confident when speaking in front of others. Let us do one more listening practice. I will describe a morning routine. Listen carefully. I wake up at 6 o'clock. I wash my face and brush my teeth. I eat breakfast with my family. After breakfast, I walk to school. My school is not far from my house. In the classroom, I sit next to my best friend. We study English together. At lunchtime, we eat sandwiches in the cafeteria. Did you understand? Let me read it again, slowly. I wake up at 6 o'clock. I wash my face and brush my teeth. I eat breakfast with my family. After breakfast, I walk to school. My school is not far from my house. In the classroom, I sit next to my best friend. We study English together. At lunchtime, we eat sandwiches in the cafeteria. This is the kind of simple listening you should practice every day. Finally, let me talk about attitude. Your attitude is more powerful than any book or teacher. If you believe you can learn English, you will learn. If you believe it is too hard, you will give up. So choose to believe in yourself. Say to yourself every day, I can do this. I am learning step by step. My English is getting better. This positive attitude will give you energy and courage to continue. All right, my dear friend, that brings us to the end of this part. You're doing so well by listening and practicing with me. Remember, every time you listen, you are improving. Be proud of yourself. In the next part, we will continue and add even more listening practice, more encouragement, and more tips to help you learn English properly and quickly. So keep going, keep smiling, and keep believing in yourself. You have done an amazing job by staying until now. That shows your dedication, your patience, and your true desire to learn English properly and quickly. I want to give you a big clap and a big smile because you really deserve it. Today, in this last part, we will continue with more listening practice, more tips, and also some encouragement to help you continue learning even after this video ends. Remember, your journey does not stop here. This is only one step, but it is an important step, and I am so proud of you. Let us begin with a simple listening practice. I will tell you about a person's weekend, and you just need to listen carefully. Here we go. Last Saturday, Maria woke up late. She had breakfast at 10 o'clock. After breakfast, she went shopping with her sister. They bought some clothes and shoes. In the afternoon, Maria met her friend in a restaurant. They ate pizza and drank orange juice. After dinner, they watched a movie at the cinema. On Sunday, Maria stayed at home. She cleaned her room, cooked lunch, and read a book. In the evening, she talked to her parents and then went to bed early. That was the story. Let me read it again more slowly. Last Saturday, Maria woke up late. She had breakfast at 10 o'clock. After breakfast, she went shopping with her sister. They bought some clothes and shoes. In the afternoon, Maria met her friend in a restaurant. They ate pizza and drank orange juice. After dinner, they watched a movie at the cinema. On Sunday, Maria stayed at home. She cleaned her room, cooked lunch, and read a book. In the evening, she talked to her parents and then went to bed early. This kind of short story is very useful for your listening. You can try to imagine the person. Imagine Maria going shopping, eating pizza, cleaning her room, and talking with her parents. When you make pictures in your mind, listening becomes easier and the story stays in your memory. You can also try to retell the story in your own words. Even if you only remember part of it, try to say it out loud. For example, you can say, Maria woke up late. She went shopping. She watched a movie. That is already very good practice. Now, let us talk about review. Review is one of the most important parts of learning. If you learn something today and never look at it again, you will forget. But if you review after one day, after 1 week, and after 1 month, you will remember for a long time. So make a habit of review. For example, if you learn 5 new words today, tomorrow you should use them again. Next week, you can try to use them in sentences. Later, you can write them in your diary. Review is like watering a plant. If you water once and stop, the plant will die. But if you water regularly, the plant will grow strong. Another important thing is listening to yourself. Sometimes you feel you are not making progress, but if you look back, you will see how far you have come. That is why keeping a diary or recording your voice is so useful. You can look at your writing from last month and see that now you can write longer sentences. You can listen to your voice recording from 3 months ago and hear that now your pronunciation is better. Progress is not always visible every day, but when you look back, you will see the difference. Let us do another listening practice together. This time I will describe a house. Listen carefully. My house is small but comfortable. There are 2 bedrooms, 1 living room, 1 kitchen, and 1 bathroom. In the living room, there is a sofa, a television, and a small table. In the kitchen, there is a fridge, a stove, and many plates and cups. My bedroom has a bed, a desk, and a lamp. The bathroom has a shower, a sink, and a mirror. Outside the house, there is a garden with flowers and trees. Did you understand? Let me repeat slowly. My house is small but comfortable. There are 2 bedrooms, 1 living room, 1 kitchen, and 1 bathroom. In the living room, there is a sofa, a television, and a small table. In the kitchen, there is a fridge, a stove, and many plates and cups. My bedroom has a bed, a desk, and a lamp. The bathroom has a shower, a sink, and a mirror. Outside the house, there is a garden with flowers and trees. This kind of description is very good practice. You can also try describing your own house in English. Just look around and say, "This is my chair. This is my bed. I have 2 windows. My kitchen has a fridge." Even if it feels simple, it is very powerful practice. Now, I want to share something important about learning quickly. Many people think learning quickly means learning fast, and finishing everything in one day. But learning quickly actually means learning smartly. It means choosing the right method, the right level, and the right practice. For example, if you spend 1 hour trying to understand a very difficult book, you will not learn much. But if you spend 1 hour reading an easier book and listening to simple sentences, you will learn more. That is learning smartly, and that is the real meaning of learning quickly. I also want to talk about enjoyment again. Please remember that English is not only for exams or jobs. It is also for fun. You can laugh in English, sing in English, watch funny videos in English, and enjoy stories in English. If you connect English with positive feelings, you will study more and you will learn faster. So try to make your practice enjoyable. Let us do one more short listening practice. This time it is about daily habits. Every morning I wake up early and go for a walk. I like to see the sunrise. After my walk, I eat breakfast and drink coffee. During the day, I work on my computer and talk to my friends. In the evening, I read a book or listen to music. Before I sleep, I write in my diary and think about my day. One more time, slowly. Every morning, I wake up early and go for a walk. I like to see the sunrise. After my walk, I eat breakfast and drink coffee. During the day, I work on my computer and talk to my friends. In the evening, I read a book or listen to music. Before I sleep, I write in my diary and think about my day. This is the type of listening you should practice often. Short, clear, simple sentences about real life. These sentences will become part of your memory, and you will be able to use them in your own speaking. Before we finish, I want to remind you about courage. Learning a language takes courage. It takes courage to speak, courage to listen even when you do not understand everything, courage to keep going when it feels slow. But you have this courage because you are here, you are listening, and you are practicing. Every time you open your mouth to say something in English, you are showing courage. And that courage will take you far. So, my dear friend, as we come to the end of this big lesson together, I want you to remember everything we practiced. Listen a lot, repeat often, speak without fear, read things you enjoy, write simple sentences, learn vocabulary and context, review often, stay patient, and most of all, believe in yourself. English is not something impossible. English is a skill, and like any skill, it grows with practice. Step by step, day by day, you'll become better. I want to thank you from my heart for spending this time with me. You have listened, you have practiced, and you have stayed until the end. That shows how strong and serious you are. Please keep going even after this video. Keep listening, keep speaking, keep reading, keep writing. Make English a part of your life. If you do, you will learn properly, you will learn quickly, and you will reach your dream. So, my friend, this is Jenny from English Lab, saying thank you and goodbye for now. But remember, I am always here for you with more videos, more practice, and more encouragement. Until next time, keep smiling, keep learning, and keep believing in yourself. You can do this, and I am so proud of you.